Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. So what's this on my desk? It's a Juef diesel electric 67,000 class SNCF locomotive. But it's a bit of a disappointment. So I bought this cheap. It was really cheap on Vinted. They were asking around 12 euros, so I thought, oh, good. The person offered me 10, and it was described as a perfectly functioning locomotive. It was written in French. I also checked, I can read French, and I checked the automatic translation into Italian. Locomotiva in stato di funzionamento perfetta. Stato di funzionamento perfetta. And of course, it arrived. I've unclipped it now, but the moulding is in very good condition. Very nice. It's got all its buffers. It's missing a couple of lenses here at the front of the spotlight. All very well. Nice, decent. I mean, it's a cheap Juef, late production event. So, of course, I'll go and open it up. First thing I notice is, you've probably noticed the obvious right now. First thing I noticed is there's no ballast. There should be a lead ballast in there, and that's not there. So when I was handling, I said, oh, okay, no ballast, doesn't matter. I'll make my own ballast using tire weights. Okay. Then I opened it up using 4 toothpicks, and oops, what's missing here? Magnet is missing. Missing magnet. And I've got a spare Juef motor, a 5-pole one, with a magnet that's quite loose. And in fact, it's quite weak because it's quite loose. It's come out. This is one of the defects of these Juef motors, is if the magnets are not well in contact, they're a bit slack. Everything's a bit slack in Juef things. They can lose. They need to be remagnetized. So I tried popping it. I couldn't even wedge it in without dismantling everything. And anyway, what's the point of putting a weak magnet? It would have to be remagnetized. I don't have a remagnetizer. It's anyway a diesel electric, and I'm not really interested in diesel electrics much. I was interested in this one because it was cheap, and I thought, okay, for the small layout, the diesel electric would be interesting. Also, I like mechanisms, and I find that the Juef's single drive axle mechanism is ridiculously underpowered, and I was just curious to see how it would handle. Probably it can't pull the skin off a rice pudding, but you see it picks up on one bogie, front bogie, drives the rear axle of the other bogie, and this wheel is just a dummy. This wheel, just dummy wheel, that's it. So it's really pathetic compared to a Lima. I mean, a Lima has a ring-fueled motor, and the Lima has got one traction bogie, one pickup bogie. But there are 4 wheels pushing the locomotive along, nice big weight. Okay, even this here is a weight. You could even buy the weight separate, but honestly, I'm not wasting money on this thing here. So, as I told you, I bought it on Vinted, and this is the very first time this happens to me on Vinted. The very, very first time I have a problem, and I've reported it. I report it as not conforming with the description, because the description says that it's in perfect conditions, and it works. The description describes it as perfectly operating locomotive. This thing won't go anywhere. I mean, it doesn't work. There's no magnet, so the motor doesn't work. It can't work. And then, so of course I reported saying that the magnet's missing, so the motor cannot work, and also the ballast is also missing, and this wouldn't, the locomotive wouldn't be able to pick up electricity properly because it's not heavy enough, and it wouldn't be able to pull a train if it worked. which it doesn't. So that's a bit of a, I mean, sooner or later it would have probably happened. I will not mention, well, I am mentioning it right now, but I'm not going to show you it because it's not nice. Okay, the locomotive was packed in a little box, wrapped up. Generally, you wrap them in bubble wrap. People selling on Vinted are very serious. The packaging is taken in great consideration. So you wrap things in bubble wrap, old newspaper, those polystyrene chips and things like that. This was wrapped in a piece of nylon cloth, which was covered in what were either cat or dog hairs. I opened it up, and I'm not a fussy person. I am not a fussy person regarding, okay, it wasn't pleasant, you know. I was careful also not to drop them around the floor here. I mean, we have tiles, we don't have carpets, but really you can't sell somebody something that's non-conforming and you stuff it, you roll it up in a bit of nasty nylon cloth that's been lying around, nylon, polyester, whatever it is, been lying around on the floor, and maybe the dog has been playing with, the dog or the cat. Black, maybe probably, I think in one of the pictures in the person's Vinted, you could see an orange cat. I mean, I like cats. I used to have a cat years ago, but I don't have a cat anymore because it died and it was sad, and we decided not to keep another pet because it was a tragedy, blah, blah, blah. But I would never, if I had a cat or a dog, I would never just wrap something that I'm selling to somebody in a bit of rag covered in animal fur. I mean, imagine, I'm not allergic to cat or dog fur, but you imagine it. If somebody were, you buy a thing on Vinted and you're allergic to cat fur or dog fur or animal fur, and you open it up and you start sneezing your head off and you don't feel well, because that's ridiculous. I mean, so for a fraction of a second I thought, I could keep it, it's cheap, I could repair it, it could be a project. And then I just thought that really it's not serious. Doing things like this is being absolutely non-serious and dishonest, because you describe something as perfectly working and it's not. That is lying. That is lying. And if you lie and you sell me a product which is, you say that it works and then it doesn't work, it doesn't work because it's old, or it doesn't work because, okay, I'm buying something that's old, etc. It doesn't work because there's no magnet. It can't work because there's no magnet. So this, I want the money back this time here. And I've already reported it. Let's see what happens. I'll let you know what happens anyway. Pretty annoyed, but it's not a big sum of money, but it's a matter of principle. I mean, I want my money back this time here. Yes, the bodywork is nice. You could say, okay, I'll keep the body. It's nice body work. I could, I don't know, look for another chassis, adapt it to something else. But honestly, if it were a nice steam engine, I would do it. It's a diesel electric, honestly. And I could pick up one of these. I would like to get one of these because I like these locomotives, and I'm very interested in. I'm disappointed because I like this silly, one axle drive twin bogie locomotive design of Jouef. I find it ridiculously cheap solution, and completely quirky. I mean, it's the kind of thing I like. It's interesting, and I'm disappointed because I would have liked to test it. And the wheels are even clean. The magnet just fell out, and obviously, and I checked in the box. The box was sealed with lots of packing tape. I shook the rag, I shook it well. Tomorrow I'll have to sweep the floor. And the magnet is nowhere to be seen. I mean, it didn't fall out when I was taking it out because it was inside. And so, no magnets, no party. Cheerio, and see you next time. Let me know if these things have ever happened to you. This is the first time it happens to myself. Cheerio.